Good afternoon and welcome to our post-game women's basketball press conference. We will start the press conference with an opening statement from head coach Amy Wright. Then we'll open it up to questions for Coach from the media.
Appreciate y'all coming out. I thought I saw improvement from our team from our last game from Thursday. It's tough to turn around and go from scoring 30 points, almost being given a goose egg in the fourth quarter, to building confidence in these young women. But they're resilient. They came in yesterday and wanted to get better. So I thought, based on this game, against a really good team, it's hard to create a double-digit deficit. And that's what we had in the first half. We had a double-digit deficit. We came back. We talked about rebounds. We forced a lot of second-chance points on our end. At the end of the day, we saw at the very end, not boxing out is obviously something we need to improve on. But we can't have bad quarters, and I talked about that the last game. We can't have quarters where we're under 10 points and not shooting free throws. And at the end of the day, I think that's what it was. Give credit to Santa Barbara. They have some excellent offensive weapons. They can kind of pick their poison. I was extremely happy with the way we guarded Whitfield. She was a focus for us, but then we also got to guard their other top shooters, which was Marin and Choice. So,
questions?
This game reminded me of a lot of last year's game against Santa Barbara. I know you weren't here, but Long Beach was down 22 in the first half and 18 at halftime and came back and won. What do you think the difference was between maybe last year? I know it's a whole bunch of new players, just more like that final 6 minutes made the difference?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that the 6 minutes. What made the difference is kind of the way we played the second quarter. That made the difference for them, in terms of their execution and us defending, allowing a lot of offensive rebounds. And then the difference for us, the shift, was the start of the third. We came out and we talked about taking the right shots instead of trying to force shots. So we were taking right shots to start the third, and that just gets a rhythm and an energy going where everybody starts sharing the ball at that point. So for me, obviously we're a solid defensive team, but everybody loves to score, and that's what we got to get used to is, getting a good shot to a great shot. And that's where we're at in conference. We're getting good shots, but where's the next great shot, not forcing shots. And I thought we adjusted pretty well. And then, we got to get used to, again, winning games. How do we finish games? So that's a learning process for this group. It's a brand new group. You had a solid core last year of kids that played well over every single game, well over 35 minutes a game. So now I have kids that didn't play any minutes such as that. So we're learning to win. It's just we're so close to the skies opening up, and we just got to keep pushing. The minute we stop pushing is when they won't open up.
Coach, you talked about this being a learning process for the team. You as a first-year head coach, how is this a learning process for you as well?
It's in terms of just the job itself is understanding the team that I have. When can I push them to let them go through the valleys? When we start, the other team starts getting on runs. Do I need to burn a timeout? Which people do I need in there to get a rebound? Which you saw us shift Devai in there at the end in order to secure a rebound on the free throw line. So I think those are processes in terms of you can watch all the film you want going into a job, but until you really know who you have on your team, what they're built of, what they're made of at their core, that's part of the process too, is who can be on the court in certain situations and what works for them to be successful.
Yeah, I noticed the offensive rebounds, you're getting now rebounded 13-2 in the first half, ended up being 18-11.
Yeah.
Was that about personnel changes or just being more aggressive?
Yeah, I think a little bit it was personnel, but we also talked about, we're not at a real disadvantage in terms of height-wise against these guys. It's not like we're playing. We're smaller than them, and I think our women they have such heart when they want to that they can guard and defend and rebound and do all the things. And right now it's at a point where we shifted a lot of our focus to scoring, and so now we got to find a balance. So we can't just defend one game and score one game. We got to do both. So that's what we're learning to. Can we play for each other for 40 minutes?
Coach, can you talk about some of the positives that you saw today after having so many struggles in the last few games? What were some of the positives that you saw tonight?
Yeah, obviously the bouncing back, that's the biggest thing. 6 turnovers, but the kid played hard. You know, she got her hands on a lot of things. I thought it was hard for her to be officiated because she is such a tremendous athlete. And it's different. It's hard. She's going to fly over people's backs. She's going to get her hands on some loose balls. So that's just the type of energy and intentionality that we need. And it's good to build off those positives that they can see for themselves. And I personally need to do a better job of showing them positive film instead of focusing on the things that we constantly needed to improve. I need to show them, hey, we can do this. This is you actually physically doing it. And that's on me.
Well, thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach.